Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This. Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. The Lincoln Service Center construction is going very well over there. So if you're listening in the capital city, the new Lincoln Service Center is going to be located just a little bit further south. It's a block or two further south, but on 14th Street from where we're at now. And we're going to start moving stuff in the month of July. I expect that we should be up and running there in August. We'll keep you posted on that. Of course, the Omaha Service Center is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's right there at 168th and Burke, very firmly rooted, although one of the air conditioners has stopped working, and yeah, that's fun. So we got to get that compressor fixed. That's a load of fun. Speaking of air conditioners, if you want a super awesome air conditioner tip, something that you should have your air conditioner guys do if they come and check out your AC, you need to listen to the Aftershock after the show here. That's on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. I fixed my own exterior air conditioner yesterday. Chris over at Solutions Heating and Air does all of our work in the shops, and he was kind enough to allow me to go to the wholesale counter and pick up the parts that I needed, so I didn't have to do a weekend call for the air conditioner on the hottest day of the year. So that was pretty awesome. But there's like a little $30, $50, $100, whatever, it depends on where you buy it, part in there that nobody replaces until it fails. But if that one little cheapo part goes bad, it can cause the whole air conditioner to fail. There is no computer equivalent to this. There's nothing in your computer that if this one part fails, your entire computer will be toast. I mean, why can't they? Anyway, we'll tell you all about it during the Aftershock if you want to know what that is. The one thing you should tell your AC guy to do when he's there checking out your AC unit, need it or not. All right. Also, the Papillion Service Center, 84th and Highway 370, where, ironically, the air conditioner is not working. It seems to be a theme. Maybe you're in the same boat. But the good news there is this happens every time this year at that new service center. My guess is the cottonwood seeds have accumulated on the condenser again. But unfortunately, I don't have a ladder tall enough. So I'll be stopping by Home Depot after the show here. So a short aftershock because I have to go to the Home Depot and get my 24-foot ladder and then try not to fall off the roof. Because I don't want to have to call an air conditioning repair guy. I don't want to have to call Chris from Solutions out on a Sunday. He's a good guy. He does good work. He fixed my parents' air conditioner and, did a wonderful job for them. So Solutions Heating and Air, great locally owned small Omaha business that does great work, available on the weekends, good stuff. So anyway, I just don't want to pay him to come out on the weekends. I've given him a lot of money in the last couple months. I'm just okay, let me see if I can go up there and peel the blanket of cottonwood seeds off my condenser myself. I'll do that for the cost of the ladder, I guess. Then I'll have a ladder, right? 866-496-8772. But what happens Saturdays at 10 in the morning and Sundays at noon? I take off my air conditioning repair hat and put on my computer repair hat, and hopefully in a bay that's a lot cooler. By the way, the air conditioner in Lincoln did fail this week. Literally, it's every air conditioner is going out because, maybe I think a lot of people are in the same boat. That was a bad belt on that one, which is ironic because, we're moving in a month. So it's we really have to put an air conditioner in there the month before we move. You got to be kidding me. And it's too hot to say, I'm sure they're fine, it's just a metal box. I think they'll be okay. But no, so the Lincoln Service Center is cool. The Omaha Service Center is cool. The Papillion Service Center will be cool. But if you have computer problems, though, this is the place we get them taken care of. And this has been a pretty crazy week. Today, this is the last weekend for the Endpoint sale. If you recall, a lot of you may have been traveling. You may not have heard about this just yet, but we have Symantec Endpoint on sale in the service center. So whatever you have on your computer for antivirus software, if it's not Symantec Endpoint, or you could argue Kaspersky. Kaspersky's pretty good too. If it's not one of those two, you really have a substandard antivirus product. Genuinely, you do. There's so much more that could be done to protect your computer that's not being done. To give you just an example, on one of our tech computers in the shop, we run the different antivirus products on the different computers so that when people call in and need help with those products, we have we can look at this computer over here and say that's something that we can look at as a, okay, click here, click there. It's like a visual aid. Well, we don't put anything on those computers that we care about. If they get infected, we just wipe them and start over. And I've got a computer in my Omaha service center that gets reinfected every few days, honestly. And Malwarebytes doesn't do a darn thing to stop it. Malwarebytes can remove the infection. It reboots the computer. It's fine for like a day, and then it's reinfected again. So if you're running the Malwarebytes, even the premium Malwarebytes, it's not good enough. If you're running McAfee, it's just not good enough. In my opinion, it's not good enough. Same thing with WebRoot. I was trying desperately to think of that name last week in the air, and I was battering my mountain air soaked brain trying to figure out what was the W one. I'm like, it was something like McAfee? No, that's McAfee. WavyG? No, that's AVG. WebRoot, that's the one I was trying to think of. And WebRoot is the one that is just not kosher pickles. I don't like that one at all. If you have what is the one the Nebraska Furniture Mart sells, the IT protection. That stuff, not great. So if you get free internet protection from your internet service provider, please keep in mind that the packages that your internet service provider gives you, they're not intended to keep you safe. They're intended to keep their network clean. Case in point, we got a letter in our Omaha service center from Cox Communications. They're our internet provider, informing us, bum, 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 we've detected that a computer on your network is infected. Well, duh, this is where all the cool infected computers come to hang out. We're like the computer methadone clinic. This is where they all come to get cured, So yeah, of course we have an infected computer on our network. That's kind of what we do. They're like, well, you really need to create a subnet or something to isolate those computers and cut them off from the internet. But then how would we know if they were fixed? And so, well, I'm just required to send you this letter and call you and waste your time and tell you that your computer is infected. Can you tell me which computer? We're just having fun with it. Tell me which computer in here is infected. We got like 60. Which one is it? Well, we don't know, but you can install the free McAfee protection and it'll help you figure that out. And it's literally we're just laughing. We're just like, oh my gosh. The computers in here on our bench right now that are infected that we're trying to fix are running the McAfee Total Protection. It's not helping. It's just not helping. You need to get something that's a little bit better if that's what you got. So right now, this is the final weekend for it. So I know if you're just hearing about this, it kind of sounds like a hurry up, rush kind of thing. It genuinely isn't. This has been going on all month. I understand lots of people are traveling this time of year. I totally get it. But right now, the Symantec endpoint, it's normally $160 for the first year. So that gets you the installation, that sets up the warranty because you get a virus-free guarantee. If you get infected while you're running endpoint, we remove the virus for free. And we don't have to do that. I mean, it used to be pretty rare. Now it's almost unheard of. Most of the time we get calls from people who think they might be infected, but they're actually not infected. But it gives them peace of mind because we'll check it out for them at no cost. So it's kind of nice. Another thing going on in the service centers this week. I should tell you the rest of this, I guess, before I move on. Endpoint's on special. Normally it's $160, okay? If you don't have endpoint on your computer, it's on special for $99 right now. Now, that's the first year price. The renewal price is much cheaper every year. It's about $65 to renew it every year. Right now, we have a brand new product out. It is straight from Symantec. It is Symantec Endpoint for your mobile devices. If you haven't heard about this yet, you probably also haven't heard all the horror stories over the last month. Phone security is changing. A year ago, I would have told you, don't worry about viruses on your phone. It's not a big deal. You need to start worrying about viruses on your phone right now. Not just viruses, but malware attacks, spoofing attacks, phishing attacks, fake alert attacks, browser hijacks. I mean, all the things that were so like 2014 in the computer world are now coming to a smartphone near you. And as a result, you need protection on your smartphone. It used to be that something like Lookout was enough, that you just make sure your apps are okay and you're good. That's not the case anymore. So now there's Symantec Endpoint available for your phone, both iOS and Android. Depending on how we need to install it on your phone, you can call into the service center. Sometimes we can do it over the Schrock desk, sometimes not. It depends on the make and model of your phone, and whether it's Apple or Android, things like that. But it's only $65 during the sale. So it is the renewal price to get this stuff installed on your phone. It's only $65. So It's something you definitely need to do if you haven't done so already. If you're in a place right now where you're, I can't bring my phone in and do this, or it's too hot and I don't want to come in and do this, or whatever the case might be, you can go to our website at SchrockInnovations.com and you can purchase Symantec Endpoint for your computer or your phone. And then when you have time to do it, or we can do a Schrock desk, we'll call you basically to get it all scheduled up. We can give you a call and get that all installed on your computer. So that's all you have to do is just give us a call in the service center or purchase it online on the website, and we'll get you all taken care of. And in many cases, you don't even have to leave the comfort of your air conditioning. However, if your air conditioning is failing right now, please, the service centers are pretty cool. We have to keep them cool for the computers, and the people too. 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program today. Ask a question or make a comment. As we do every week, we will put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, good for anything your heart desires in the service center. You can also watch the show live on Facebook right now, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. That's what Eileen and Bill are doing. Good morning, guys. Hot Central Iowa, Eileen says. And Bill just wishes everyone a good morning. So everybody listening there, thank you for joining us on Facebook. So today on the program, last week we put out a pretty stern warning. We're like, watch the G20. Because if something bad comes out of that and they end up putting these tariffs on everything else coming from China, it's going to cause the cost of a cheap laptop. We're talking like a $500 laptop to go up about $140. It's going to be pretty extreme. And the good news is nothing nasty really came out of that. In fact, there was a little bit of a truce. It sounds like President Trump threw an olive branch out and said, you know what, we're going to put Huawei on this list of companies that can't buy U.S. technology. And, maybe we will, look away for a little while. We'll give them a reprieve, maybe like another 90 days or something. And then that will, help. That was an olive branch basically to say, okay, hey, we're coming a part way here. And so now we'll see what China does to reciprocate. But it sounds like that and there's also a moratorium on new tariffs, which of course I will take that with a grain of salt, because if something goes sideways or something goes wrong, or it isn't reciprocated in the way that the president feels it should be reciprocated, the tariffs could all be back on tomorrow. So we just don't know. But keep your ears and eyes open. It sounds like a reprieve right now, but if those additional tariffs would go into effect, you have about a window of 2 weeks to purchase something. If you're thinking of a new computer for back to school or something, after that 2-week window, that's going to work. You're going to work through all the supply chain that's already been shipped, and then the prices are going to go up. Or it could be like gasoline, like when crisis breaks out in the Gulf, crisis in the Gulf, all of a sudden the gas prices go up like 30 cents a gallon. But that gas was already refined and in the ground. So the oil came, chugga over. And then, well, it used to anyway. It doesn't really come over anymore. We make a lot of oil here now, but, chugga, it comes over, and then they dump it into the refinery. And the refinery goes, and makes it into gasoline. And then all of a sudden the gasoline goes into a truck, and the truck, it goes over to wherever, and then pours it into the ground. Delicious. And then into the tank, not into the ground, because that would be pointless, but into the tank that's in the ground. And then once that's done, you pump it into your car. So that gasoline, that oil goes a long way. So it could be something like that. It could be like, hey, there's tariffs coming and the price of laptops just goes up. Or the price of desktops just go up. So if it's something you're concerned about, like I said, back to school is usually when people start really looking at computers. They start looking at preventative maintenance checkups, getting these kids ready to go back to school. So July is kind of a calm month for us, and then August things start heating up again. And then, of course, we're getting ready for the holiday special after that. So that it's kind of crazy. It's halfway through the year already. I don't know what happened to it. All right, one other thing, a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into some stories here. You may be receiving an email. You may have received. You may be receiving an email from Schrock reminding you about preventative maintenance about on your computer. So basically, what we haven't done this in a while, and it's something that we probably should have been doing far longer, or a while back. But the challenge that sometimes people have is, you're supposed to have preventative maintenance on your computer every 6 months, just like you're supposed to have preventative maintenance on your air conditioner once a year. I suspect if you lived in the desert, they would tell you once every 6 months. But, in Nebraska, we turn the air conditioner off half the year, right? And part of, the reason, if somebody would have come out And I didn't have them service my air conditioner because, hey, I know a guy, right? Chris from Solutions. I think he came out and looked at all my work stuff, and I was like, I just never got around to sending him out to the house, whatever. That thing's fine. The air conditioner is only 10 years old, right? The house is only 10 years old. So, gosh, come on, right? No, there's a capacitor in there that will bulge and stop working, and it will cause a whole cacophony of things to go wrong if it goes on long enough. And if you just had a guy come out and look at the air conditioner, he would have been able to see that capacitor was bulging, and they could have replaced it. It would have been far cheaper than me going out and buying a new air conditioner motor and putting it in myself to save money. So long story short, the same thing applies to computers, but we're all busy, right? Maybe you don't have, 3 service centers in a house to worry about, but you have plenty going on that the last thing you're thinking about, maybe when you lay down at night and you're fading off to sleep, you're like, I should have the computer maintenance, and that's the last thought before you lose consciousness. And then you wake up the next day and it's like a dream. Did I have it maintenance? Maybe I did. When was the last time I had a maintenance checkup? I know I bought a certificate a while back. Did I use that certificate? People wonder about these things. So we started sending reminder. First off, it's going to be emails, reminder emails that are coming out that is saying, hey, your whatever computer, we name the computer, your HP whatever computer is due for a preventative maintenance checkup. You haven't had one since then. If you have a certificate in the email, we tell you have a certificate available that you have prepaid for that you can come in and use. If you don't have a certificate, we just tell you to come in and get a maintenance checkup, basically. So we have a lot of computers in our databases. Like I said, we have 24,000 customers, and most of those customers have more than one computer in their records. And so as a result, you get rid of computers. You don't always tell us when you get rid of the computer. And so some computers we have in our database maybe have been gone for a couple of years and you haven't had maintenance work done because you don't have the computer. Well, you're going to get a reminder email about that computer. If you get a reminder email about a computer that you don't have anymore, just give us a quick call in the service center or bounce a reply back. I get those replies. Bounce a quick reply back to me and just say, hey, I don't have this computer anymore. We will mark it as recycled in our system, and that way you won't receive any further alerts. Because going back to the air conditioner example, the longer these maintenance things go without being addressed, the worse it's going to get. So as time goes on, you're going to get an email, and then if you don't respond to the email, you're going to get a text message. And if you don't respond to the text message, you may get a phone call, like a robocall. If you don't respond to that, Thor might actually call you, like, listen up, guys, come on. So if you don't have the computer anymore, just let us know. We'll mark it so you don't get those communications. Also, there is an unsubscribe link at the bottom of those emails. If you would prefer not to receive any reminders about computer maintenance whatsoever, there's a link you can click on there to disable the reminders on your Schrock account so that you don't ever have to hear about it again because you're on top of it. Totally get that. So 866-496-8772, just a heads up on that one there. Going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about another Florida city got infected with ransomware and what they did. A huge internet outage this week. Verizon and Amazon both have an outage. We're going to tell you what went on there. And, of course, your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff. And that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, where we do computer repair. We do website design and development. So this is the time of year, guys. If you're thinking about getting a website or a business up and running for the holiday season, this is when you need to start your web work. A lot of times customers come to us in September, October, and they're like, hey, we got to get all this stuff done to our website. And we're like, we're booked. You know, like we are booked solid. Like right now, Alfonso is literally, and his team, they're booked for almost the rest of the year. They have a few, getting a normal business website out is not a basic website isn't a big deal. But, the people who come to us with major web projects like, hey, I want to create a fully automated online store that does this, that, or the other and can make informed decisions on when to send emails about things. That takes a little more work, a little more time. So the time to get on that is now so that we can get you into the schedule, get you planned out, and get you moving and on the road in the right direction. Also, this week, I wanted to we tell you about Drive Advisor. There's commercials about it. If you haven't heard of Drive Advisor before, Drive Advisor is a free program that Schrock Innovations makes that will warn you if your hard drive is starting to fail. Now, there are two types of hardware failure. The reason I bring this up is a person commented on Facebook. She, in January, took advantage of that really popular sale to have her hard drive upgraded from a mechanical drive to a solid-state drive. Her solid-state drive failed, and I'm guessing she didn't have a backup because she was kind of upset about it. It was under warranty, so we fixed the hard drive and everything for free. And hard drives fail. Whether they're solid state or mechanical, hard drives fail. But what she was really upset about is she said, I have Drive Advisor. Why didn't Drive Advisor warn me that the hard drive that you guys installed in my computer was going to fail? That's a fair question. So I wanted to take a quick moment on the air to talk about Drive Advisor and the types of hard drive failure. So first of all, like I said, Drive Advisor is a free program. We don't charge for it. There's no revenue model. It's simply a program that's supposed to alert you if your hard drive is starting to fail. So to put this in air conditioning terms, okay, if you were going to have a program, a software program that monitored your air conditioner, it would monitor your air conditioner. And if the temperature started to go up, so in other words, if the air conditioner was losing its ability to keep the air cool, you might receive an alert that your air conditioner is losing efficiency. Something might be wrong. If your air conditioner's motor starts hitting a certain temperature, like it's burning up and it's slowing down, you might get an alert that the motor temperature is high or that the motor RPMs are lower than they should be. These are all indicative signs of a failure. Maybe you get a pressure warning that your coolant pressure is falling. These are all things that go wrong with air conditioners, right? And these are all things that over time will indicate, especially if you're taken in their entirety, your air conditioner is having a trouble and you need to get it fixed before, it's 97 degrees outside and you don't have air conditioner on a Saturday afternoon. That's what happened to me. Except you see, the Drive Advisor air conditioner version wouldn't have been able to detect my air conditioner failure because I had a sudden failure, right? One day, literally at 8 o'clock at night, on Friday night, it was running and working fine. And by 9:40, the motor was so hot when I sprayed it with a garden hose, it steamed and it was shot. The motor was done. It just like that. It was a sudden failure. no monitoring program. Sure, maybe it would have detected the temperature going up, but I mean, you would have had what, 5 minutes notice, and then what are you going to do? 5 minutes notice, your air conditioner is going to fail. Quick, turn the temperature down in here. What are you going to do? So hard drives are kind of similar. There are failures that you can detect because you're detecting the symptoms of the failure over time as they get worse. So on a hard drive, your capacity, your storage starts to drop. The temperature of the hard drive starts to go up. The drive has to power on multiple times before it actually works. These are all things that will indicate that a hard drive failure is imminent, that will cause Drive Advisor to flag you and let you know your hard drive is starting to fail. What Drive Advisor can't do is it can't pull a Johnny Carson and hold the envelope up to its forehead and then tell you, that the hard drive is going to die like tomorrow. When there are sudden hard drive failures where it works one moment and then bam, it doesn't work the next moment with no warnings, there's no warning. Therefore, we can't pass that warning on to you. The purpose of Drive Advisor is to give you the warnings that the hard drives already are trying to give you, that the manufacturers of the computers have disabled. So HP, Dell, Asus, Acer, they all do it. They turn off the smart warning notification so that when your hard drive is starting to fail, you don't get told. And therefore, you run it until you're out of warranty, and then all of a sudden it blows up in your face. Drive Advisor wants to get you those warnings while you still have some warranty and something can be done about it. That's the point, right? So it is possible that you can run Drive Advisor on your computer and still have an unexpected hard drive failure. It is not a perfect system, but what Drive Advisor is designed to do is to warn you when the signs are there that everything is going wrong. Now, as far as solid states versus she left the conversation by saying, I wish I would have known that solid states were so fragile, I wouldn't have bought one. Okay, so quick solid state facts. A solid state hard drive is 6 times less likely to fail than your mechanical counterpart. So it is a much more stable device than the old mechanical drives are. When they do fail, though, they tend to fail suddenly. They can fail more quickly because they're an electronic, it's a binary device. It's a 0 or a 1. It's off or it's on. So with that said, 6 times less likely to fail. And we get Drive Advisor alerts all the time on solid states. They start to lose capacity. One of the memory chips goes bad. Drive Advisor flags it. And says, hey, your solid state's starting to die. You need to get it in here and get it replaced. But sometimes with mechanical drives or solid states, the failure can be sudden. So moral of the story, guys, we did the solid state sale in January, and then we did a backup sale in February. Make sure you have a backup of your information. And I know today's going to be a hot, hot day. Make a backup of your hard drive. You're sitting inside anyway. Make a backup of your hard drive today. Just do it. Just decide to do it. Just today. Even if you only have one backup that you are sure is run today, that's better than having nothing. So this PSA brought to you by Schrock Innovations. Who needs to go to commercial break? All right, we got to take a break here, bottom of the hour, guys. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to tell you the Google ethics team got busted. This is the ethics team at Google. They got busted being unethical. And we're going to tell you what happened and then why they took the whole expose down off YouTube. Was that ethical? Did the ethics team make the decision to pull the unethical ethics team video down off the Google YouTube product? We're going to tell you what's going on with the Google ethics team coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. Why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute this pro tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Karen McHugh. From a request via Twitter to meeting in the flesh, President Trump becomes the first U.S. leader to cross over the Korean DMZ to meet with the leader of the North. Another invitation was proffered.
I said, you know what? At the right time, you're going to come over. We're going to go over there. We have a ways to go yet. We'll see. But I would certainly extend the invite.
The two leaders spoke for more than an hour and agreed to restart Korean denuclearization talks soon. That, says President Trump, could lead to a lifting of sanctions against Pyongyang.
They're staying on. I mean, at some point, look, I'm looking forward to taking them off. I don't like sanctions being on his country. I'm looking forward, but the sanctions remain, yes. But at some point during the negotiation, things can happen. And that's what we'll be talking about, sanctions.
It's now wheels up for Air Force One as the president heads back home. This is a Fox News alert.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
A warm and humid start this morning will quickly heat up into the 90s, highs around 95 degrees. This afternoon, heat index readings between 100 and 108 degrees. Overnight, mostly clear, lows around 75, mostly sunny on Monday with highs around 93. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, 866-496-8772, where we haven't had a single call yet. So, I mean, do I get the gift card? Do you get the gift certificate? I mean, who do we give it? Got to give it to somebody, right? All right, so give us a call, ask a question, make a comment. We'll get you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. All right, so as you guys know, it is easy to get sucked down a politics rabbit hole, especially with all the in the last few years. Okay, here's the thing: when you talk about politics, you either you make half your audience really happy and you infuriate the other half of your audience. As a local business, we can't afford to infuriate half of our audience. So you'll find that I'm pretty tolerant and pretty respectful of everybody's political opinions. However, when there's something that comes out like this, I don't know. I think a reasonable person could agree that it's not Google's place to decide what content you get to see, right? So Google should not have editorial control over what you get to see. Now, some people will disagree with that. They'll say that it's Facebook's responsibility to make sure that gory videos of people killing themselves are not put on Facebook. And then there's, on the other side of the coin, there's, they'll say it's also our responsibility to make sure that vaccine conspiracy theories don't get seen on Facebook. Now, I don't know. I think a reasonable human being can put a line somewhere between a police officer being shot in the back of the head live on Facebook, which actually happened last week, and a vaccine conspiracy theory. Okay, I think those are different things. Vastly different. I'm not sure where that line is in the middle of the gray area in between there, but I can be darn well sure there's a line in the fog there somewhere, right? We don't need to be seeing people getting shot in the head. It's not going to hurt me to see a vaccine conspiracy theory, okay? 40% of people now have undermined confidence in vaccines. They're like, I don't know about these vaccines. They're kind of, and it's kind of funny, but they're trying to stop it. And in their effort to try to stop the conspiracy theories about vaccines, they're just making the conspiracy theories about vaccines worse. Okay. All right. So this week, Project Veritas, which is gonna trigger some people. Triggered. Project Veritas they're a very right-leaning organization, and what they try to do is they try to catch left-leaning people saying things on video that they really shouldn't say. They'll pose as fake employees. They'll pose as abortion clinic, fetus salespeople. I mean, literally, that's a real job title. They don't call it that, but that job exists. And they posed to those people and then like filmed all these videos. It was like an expose kind of thing. So as a result, they haven't made a lot of friends. Okay. They're very polarizing, but when they do put a video out, it makes you go, wow, that's kind of weird. So Project Veritas, I don't know how they did it. The video is very hard to find now, which we'll talk about in a minute. But a Google executive is caught on hidden camera saying they will stop Trump's reelection. Okay, again, you can love Trump, you can hate Trump, you can be somewhere in the middle and not care about Trump. This is not a pro or anti-Trump moment. This is saying take the name Trump and replace it with the name Obama, or take the name Trump and replace it with Bernie Sanders. Does Google have a place stopping anybody from getting elected? And the ethics team, no less. So Washington, D.C., employees at social media giant Google referred to big name politically conservative personalities like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro as Nazis and suggested a method in which their outreach could be lessened. So in other words, reduce how much of their content people consume. Leaked documents reveal. An undercover video also shows a Google employee admitting that the company is trying to prevent another quote-unquote Trump situation from happening in the 2020 election. Undercover investigators at Project Veritas claim the internal Google documents show that Google employees labeled conservative personalities, these people, as Nazis. They're all observant Jews, by the way. They're like the practicing Jewish people. They're like the furthest you could get from a Nazi. The leaked email was sent among members of Google's transparency and ethics group and called for removing those above named individuals' content from Google's suggestion feature. So when you start typing into Google, it'll autofill. They're saying we should remove their stuff from the autofill because just these tiny little tips on the scale will mean fewer people will see their content. Fewer people will say, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for, and hit enter. It'll just make them a little harder to find. Project Veritas reported the leaked document appears to contradict the employee's claim that Google, in the employee's words, has no notions of political ideology in its search rankings. They obviously do. Shapiro responded to the claim, Twitter, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. In an email obtained by Project Veritas, Google employee Liam Hopkins states, today, it is often one or two steps to Nazis if we understand that PragerU, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro et al. Are Nazis using dog whistles if you mention in step one. I can receive those recommendations regardless of the content of what I'm looking at, and I have recorded thousands of internet users sharing the same experience. That's an email from inside Google. I'm just saying if I'm in a corporate environment and I send that email in my corporate network, there's a good chance I lose my job. I'm just saying. The email suggests that the company should heed change the suggestion field. Let's see, we're scrolling down responses from politicians, which we don't really care about. In an undercover video produced by Project Veritas, Google executive Jen Janai explained Google's apparent political manipulation of internet search results. She said of Trump's presidential election, we all got screwed over in 2016. Again, it wasn't just us, it was the people, the news media. Everybody got messed over. So we're rapidly been like, what happened here and how do we prevent it from happening again? Okay, so they made this big video, right? They exposed this stuff. This is scandalous kind of stuff. It's a black eye for Google. This is their ethics team obviously behaving unethically, or at least talking about behaving unethically. So they make a video and they post it to YouTube, which is a Google-owned property. YouTube flags the video and removes it. Facebook flags the video and removes it. It's a conspiracy theory. Just turns out Vimeo, which has usually been a place where you can still find videos that get flagged and removed by companies like this, they have just removed it. So pretty much every video sharing website is removing this video and not allowing people to see it. It makes it worse, guys. I'm talking about it today because people are removing the video. If you just left the video alone, it's like a boogeyman story and it goes away in a few days. Now it's this big thing. It's a big scandal, and it's a big. You can see the video of it available on a web sharing site called BitChute. You can still find it there, but yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that when these companies like Google and Facebook, the video on Facebook, there was a police officer who was shot and was laying on the ground bleeding out. The whole thing was Facebook Lived. And the person with the camera sat there and filmed the police officer dying on the ground instead of helping. Filmed it. That video was still online when this was taken down. It had been up for a week. And Facebook, we can't take that down. Too many people are sharing it. It's just too fast. But something like this is getting shared just as quickly, but it gets scrubbed within minutes. Come on. So anyway, regardless of your political leanings, be aware that if the tide would ever turn, if you're a right-wing person, you're probably irate about this. If you're a left-leaning person, you're probably like, hey, that's about time. I'm just saying, when it's not a left-leaning person running Google or Facebook or whatever, if it ever is the other way around, this can go both ways. This when everyone talks about totalitarianism or we're an evil totalitarian dictatorship here in America. First of all, you're not. Just quit saying that. Secondly, this is the kind of stuff that happens in that environment. And when it's happening for your guy, you're like, yay! And when it's happening against your guy, you're like, oh, the agony. Just don't do it to anybody, okay? Just be fair to everybody. 866-496-8772. Going to take a quick break, and then Beth, Tom, and Craig, your calls are all coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right. Welcome back in, guys. We're still here, still kicking. I think we got 15 minutes here. Do we have one more break yet we have to take? One more? No, we don't. I got them all done. Look at me. I'm an overachiever. 866-496-8772. Getting some people requesting that we post the link to that Veritas video on Facebook here. Well, for however long it lasts. I'm going to get myself banned here if I'm not careful. So basically, we went ahead and posted that for you there. Thomas had requested that. I did post the link to the entire video. It's not the edited version. It's the entire raw video so that you can draw your own conclusions without the help of an editor clipping things out. All right, 866-496-8772. Beth, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hi, Thor. Really enjoy your show.
Thank you.
I just wondered if he, and I'm sorry if I missed it, but if you have any information on the next Windows upgrade and your next sale, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Gotcha. Well, wow. That was efficient, Beth. I appreciate it. Thank you. Beth is gone, right? Oh, no.
No, I'm here.
I thought I heard a click. I thought you said, I appreciate it. Click. And I was like, wow, Beth, I thought we were hitting it off here and you just hung up. It's like, we had to explain to my son how when mom drops in on the Echo in the basement with her phone and is talking to you, and you say, I won't say the A word, A word, that A word. When you say A word, end call, you're basically hanging up on mom, and you don't hang up on mom. You just don't. You always let mom end the call first. And I'm looking at my son. I'm like, this is a good life lesson with women in general, Jacob. You don't hang up first because it can be misinterpreted in a lot of ways. Even if it wasn't intended that way, you always wait for them to hang up and then you hang up. Good lesson in life. But no, so first off, as far as the next month's sale, I did ask on Facebook. We have some ideas on some things we want to do. We weren't sure whether we have a great big sale planned for the month that we opened the new service center. And we weren't sure if that was going to be July or August. It's looking like it's going to be more like August rather than July. And so we do need a sale next month that we're going to push out. And we have some things in the stable that we've been kind of holding back because we weren't sure what to do with them. So we're taking suggestions. I asked on Facebook for people to give me some suggestions of things they would like to see go on sale. And it's kind of funny. Some people are saying, put video cards on sale. And I'm like, while that is interesting, I don't know how many people are really like, woohoo, I want to get a new video card. So that was I was like, yeah, I don't know. But do you have anything that you're looking for, Beth, to go on sale?
Not at this time.
Okay. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, anything like that, let me know. Now, as far as the new Windows update, the version 1903 was released and installed for everybody last month. So usually these updates come about 6 months apart. So we're looking at probably November-ish for the next one, somewhere in there. Of course, right in the middle of the holiday season, because that's when everybody has time to worry about that. So that'll probably be when the next one comes out. And of course, Safe Upgrade will be available for you to install that as well when the time comes. Yeah, so let me see. You asked about stuff going on sale. You asked about next version of Windows. Was there anything else that I forgot?
Nope, thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth. I'll wait for you to hang up. Have a great afternoon.
You too, bye.
There you go. So now you can hang up. See son, that's how you got to do it. 866-496-8772. Tom, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Thank you, sir. This is Tom Kelly, and I'm calling from South Central Nebraska.
Oh, awesome, Tom. Good to hear from you. What can I do for you today?
Well, blessed Sunday morning.
Thank you.
Number one, my wife Arlene and I love KFAB News Radio. We listen all week long. We're 200 miles or more out west, and we love the program. And I love your program. And I told your caller guy, I said, I'm 65 years old, and when I was in school, I was a history, art, English guy and didn't have a lot of interest in science. And if I was starting all over in life, I would grab onto this technology. And your program is all about real news and real information. It's stuff that people can use to make their life better. And your program is a way to make life better.
Well, thank you, Tom.
I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate and enjoy your program and learning a lot for an old guy.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. And I mean, it is amazing. One of the things that always intrigues me is, like you said, starting over, I'd grab onto this technology stuff, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, starting over, I would grab onto this biology stuff, because the stuff that's coming up in genetics is just, it's mind-boggling, the things that we're going to be able to do in 50, 60 years. Hopefully they come out with all these cures before, I get too decrepit and old and, can't benefit from them. But there is some, if you look at some of the research stuff that's coming around the corner, I mean, There is some radical world-changing stuff. Everyone's worried about declining populations and declining birth rates, and then all of a sudden, if people can live to be 150, are you really worried about that anymore? And not 150 like in non-productive years, but 150 of your like most productive years. It's mind-boggling, the stuff that's coming out. Cures for cancer, that your immune system is being engineered to fight cancer. Aging, anti-aging stuff. Somebody did a study. There are these weird guys, the rich guys that go out and they buy plasma from kids, and then they inject it into themselves. Basically, they take young blood, then they get like a young blood kid. Like this is my kid, and this is the person that I'm going to get my blood from. And that person agrees to sell their blood to the rich person on a regular basis. And the rich person believes that they're getting some kind of health benefits by transfusing this young blood into their body. And it was kind of a fringy science thing. One of those, like, the people who also believe that drinking bleach will help you be healthy, But now they've done a study on it, and they found there's actually proteins that are available in the blood of younger people that are not as available in the protein of older people. And when those proteins are reintroduced into the bloodstream of an older person, the older person receives health benefits from those proteins. So right now it's very vampire-y, right? Like, I'm going to drink your blood. But imagine if they could isolate those proteins and then develop a drug that did the same thing without you having to inject yourself with other people's blood. It's just amazing, the stuff that they're figuring out. And come on, guys. Drinking the blood of a young person. If you're looking for the fountain of youth, didn't the Vikings figure that out? It's like, wow. We're back to Viking. Okay, got it. All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it there, Tom. All right, let's jump into the phones here again and go to Craig. Craig, welcome to the program. How can I help you today and compute this? Craig on 3, Are you with me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, yep. Good morning. I appreciate your show very much, Thor.
Thank you.
And also, I worked with you got some fine folks over at your Village Point store. Brian, I think it's Chase or Chance.
Chase, yeah.
And then Kaylin, they're all wonderful people. I'm trying to get these doggone pictures off my iPhone, my company iPhone, and download them on my Christmas special from about 4 or 5 years ago computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that, and I'm having trouble getting them down. So Brian says, bring it on up. We'll try to get it done for you. I do. He plugs it in. The motherboard goes out.
Oh.
And I said, man, this ain't your fault. This way this electronic stuff goes. So he tries his best. He fixes up the motherboard. I come back out. The pictures aren't going down still. And I just figured there's some conspiracy with Apple. This is an Apple iPhone I have. They want you to use the cloud, and they really. Oh yeah, they push it hard.
That's where they got rid of iTunes. iTunes is dead now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they're not going to put out any new iTunes software. So yeah, they're forcing you into the cloud.
Thank you for confirming that. I think this, and I don't want to give them my credit card number. I just want my pictures on my computer, turn in this work phone, and get the new work phone. So I'm really hoping that it's a Verizon phone, so I'm hoping when I get the new phone, I can go over there and ask them to turn it, to switch the pictures over. Otherwise, I don't know I got to turn in my old phone,
Right.
So I don't know. You got any thoughts on that? What you would do?
To get the thing is, you can use third-party cloud services that don't require you to give a credit card. So Google Drive is one, for example. You can basically install the Google Drive app on your phone. If you have an Amazon Prime account, Amazon Prime, if you have that Prime feature on your account, it has free photo backup storage for you. It'll back up every photo on your phone to Amazon Prime, and then you can resynchronize them back. That's a little cumbersome. The backup part is great. The resynchronizing part is not so hot. The backup part is so fast that, like, when I take a picture of my wife and she's like, "Don't take a picture of me," and I'm like, "Oh," she goes, "You delete that right now." So then I delete it, but it's already been uploaded to the cloud, right? So I've already got it. Like, haha, yeah, I deleted it right here. You saw me delete it. It's in the cloud. So the other one obviously is Dropbox. Dropbox is very, very easy to synchronize. You install the Dropbox app on your phone. It backs everything up. Then once it's all backed up, you get a new phone, you install the Dropbox app, and it sucks it all back down again. The other thing to keep in mind on your iPhone especially is the iPhone obviously doesn't have any expandable storage. So when you do buy your iPhone, make sure you get the biggest capacity you can afford to buy.
Thank you. I found that out the hard way.
But the thing is, as your phone gets full, it will, when you take new pictures, the phone will automatically reduce the resolution of your new pictures, so they take up less space on your phone because it's getting full.
Oh man, that's another thing you're teaching me. That stinks. Okay.
Yeah. So make sure you get as much as you can, and then don't let the pictures live on the phone forever. You can move them off onto another service or back them up to a computer using a non-iTunes feature.
Another great piece of advice. Thank you. Another mistake I was making right there. Thank you.
No worries. This is what we do. And thanks for letting me know about the staff in Omaha doing a great job.
Oh, they're awesome.
We were were you the guy I was talking to in the service center where we were giving Kaylin a hard time about her boyfriend?
No.
Oh, okay.
I bet she's got a bunch of them. She's a sweetheart.
Whoa. No. So her boyfriend told her, you don't ever have to work again. You don't have to take that job at Schrock. And then, I'm looking at her and I'm saying, you can do better than this guy. Don't listen to him. You need this job. You can do so much better than him. Take your time. You're young. You'll find someone way better.
She's a terrific first face at that store. She's very smiley and bubbly, and she's very welcoming. You did well with her. So yeah, I'm glad she's there.
Well, we are too. We are too. All right. Thank you very much for the call, Craig. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too. 866-496-8772 is the number to join us on the program. Also, I just dropped a link during the show here on the Facebook page. If you guys have had an experience with an employee in the service center like what Craig did, and you want to give them a shout out, the number one best thing you could do, people tell me all the time, oh, so-and-so did a great job. So-and-so did a good job. Occasionally I hear a complaint, what was the word? One customer called the employees, all of them together, sniveling brats last week. And I was like, wow, sniveling brats. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. He didn't name anyone specific, which was good because I would remember that. No one's called them sniveling brats before, but if you tell me which sniveling brat was, sniveling at you, then I can go back and talk to that sniveling brat and find out what the deal is. But when you say good things about it, I hear lots of good things about my people. I don't always remember all of them when it comes time for reviews. Now, I'm not saying I don't give my people raises. What I'm saying is, if you want something that is lasting and permanent in my memory, that I can refer back to for an employee who went above and beyond or did a great job for you, the best thing you can do is leave a Google or a Yelp review and name that person in the review. So I put a link on Facebook if you want to do that. You can click that link. The Omaha and Papillion service centers are in that link, and you can just talk about the person you had a great experience with. Okay, let's see. We got 42 seconds. Marilyn, I can't do it. Marilyn, stay on the line. I'll take your call as soon as the show is over and answer your question about your browser there. I've got 30 seconds, and that wouldn't be fair to me. Get you in, and then by the time you got your question out, I'd have to hang up on you. Wouldn't be good. Today's winner is Beth. Congratulations, Beth. You got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, and Addie in the Lincoln Service Center will get that out to you right away on Monday. Remember to have your air conditioners maintenance and your computers maintenance. Remember that Drive Advisor catches most failures, but not all failures. And remember that this is the final weekend for the Semantic Endpoint sale at Schrock. We'll see you again next weekend for another edition of Compute This.
This is News Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha. Online at KFAB.com. On your phone with the iHeartRadio app and on hundreds of